Tomorrow, Missourians may want to get to the polls early because it looks like things will be busy. Good evening, I'm Landon Burke.
And I'm Brittany Pieper. Thanks for joining us. On the eve of the 2016 presidential election, Missouri voter turnout is on the rise. KOMU 8's Amanda Henderson's here in the studio with the numbers and what they could mean for you tomorrow.
Both Missouri and the United States as a whole has seen an increase in voter turnout this year. Here in mid-Missouri, counties expect an even higher turnout than in 2008 when Barack Obama was first elected president. Many believe this increase is due to the volume of media coverage of this election. Cole County expects a voter turnout of 75%, and officials say this is based on numbers from the past.
In 2008, we had a 74% turnout. In 2012, we had a 70% turnout. So we kind of base our turnout on that.
Columbia Public Schools will also not be in session tomorrow due to the voting. From the studio, Amanda Henderson, KOMU 8 News.
Earlier today, both the Democratic and Republican parties held rallies in Columbia. Democratic gubernatorial candidate Chris Koster brought donuts and coffee. He was there to thank volunteers and supporters for all their help during his campaign. Koster said he knows this race is going to be close, and he encouraged everyone to go out and vote.
We have presented a campaign that reflects my heart and my goals for this state. I have been true to who I am and the vision that I have, which is a big tent. It's a conservative Democratic tent, but it reaches out to folks on the right and on the progressive side.
The Democratic Party had its last rally in St. Louis earlier this evening. There will be a Democratic watch party tomorrow, both at the Blue Note and Ragtag Cinema in downtown Columbia.
The first stop for Republicans this morning was the Columbia Regional Airport. Several candidates spoke to the crowd, including Eric Greitens, who's running for governor, and Mike Parson for lieutenant governor. U.S. Senator Roy Blunt did not attend the Columbia rally. Greitens finished off the rally by saying he believed the momentum is on his side heading into the election tomorrow.
People recognize that the status quo isn't working, and they're tired of crooked career politicians like Chris Koster. I'm a Navy SEAL, a small business owner, and I'm ready to take Missouri in a new direction. And we're excited that so many people are standing up and joining our mission.
The last Republican rally stop today was St. Louis. There will be a Republican watch party tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Executive Center in Columbia. You can also tune into KOMU 8 News we'll have team coverage from St. Louis, Kansas City, Springfield, and Columbia. So we do invite you to stay tuned all day tomorrow. We will have 17 reporters on the ground bringing you local and state races that matter to you most. We'll also have a comprehensive digital team bringing you results online. No other station can bring you coverage like we can. So again, stay tuned. KOMU 8 News all day tomorrow for Smart Decision 2016 coverage.
Here's a look at what's happening right now. Final preparations are being made for the presidential candidates' election night headquarters. Hillary Clinton's campaign will hold its event at the Jacob Javits Center. Workers were putting final touches on the stage where the Democratic nominee hopes to give her acceptance speech as the first woman president in U.S. history. Donald Trump's campaign will be headquartered at the New York Hilton Midtown. Police say frozen zones will be established around each location before the candidates' arrival Tuesday night, and presidential-level security is expected when they move through Midtown.
The election is not over yet, though. Donald Trump is raising eyebrows with his bid to grab states like Michigan that looked like they were easily Hillary Clinton's. She's relieved by the latest move by the FBI. Steve Handelsman's at the center of it all in Philadelphia.
Hillary Clinton began her last day push in Pennsylvania.
I want to be the president for all Americans, not just some.
She leads by 4% nationally in our new poll, and will not be prosecuted for her emails. No change after the FBI reassessment. Donald Trump raged.
Hillary Clinton is being protected by a totally rigged system.
But in Bucks County outside Philadelphia, a swing county in a battleground state, Kim Kraft decided.
I kept saying I wasn't going to vote, but I think I would probably end up voting for Hillary just because I feel like she's the lesser of two evils.
Sheila Staub is staying with Trump.
Both of them are very flawed, but to me, she is way more flawed than he is.
Between events in Pennsylvania today, Clinton goes to Michigan, a state Trump could turn red to win, like Florida, where he started today.
I'm not a politician. My only special interest is you.
President Obama went to Ann Arbor to prevent a surprise.
The good news, Michigan, is you are uniquely qualified to make sure he does not get the job.
More Republicans early voted in Georgia and Arizona, more Democrats in critical Florida and Nevada. But in Pennsylvania, where crews got ready for Clinton's rally tonight, there's almost no early voting.
That was Steve Handelsman reporting. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi thinks FBI Director James Comey made a mistake when releasing the letter about Hillary Clinton's emails last month. She says the letter was out of line, but it did have its benefits as it boosted fundraising efforts for some small donors to House candidates. Pelosi believes the chances for Democrats to flip the balance in the House is weakened because of the decision as Trump narrowed in on Clinton.
Speaking of Trump, the prospect of a Donald Trump presidency has many Cubans concerned about the future of their own country. The Republican candidate told a largely Cuban-American crowd he will roll back all the executive actions taken by President Barack Obama to relax travel and trade restrictions against Cuba. Trump told the cheering crowd in Florida that if he becomes president, he will, quote, enforce the embargo against Cuba and reimpose travel restrictions. Many Cubans believe this would hurt the growing private sector in Cuba and further damage the country's failing economy. Earlier this afternoon, 5 people were given misdemeanor citations for taking campaign signs from private property. The incident happened in Columbia on Rock Quarry and Grindstone Parkway. The Columbia Police Department says it got a call after some Donald Trump Mike Pence signs were taken from someone's yard. Some words were exchanged, but no one was arrested.
Tonight, the Columbia City Council will decide if it wants to renovate the intersection of Waco and Paris Roads. Kraft Foods proposed the idea because of its upcoming expansion, and other companies in the area support the addition of traffic lights and updated driveways. The project would cost an estimated $221,000 to complete and then $3,000 yearly. 8 crashes happened in that intersection since 2011, 7 of which resulted in injuries. No decision has been made yet. We'll have more on that at 10. Mid-Missouri's only ice rinks flooding problems could be over. At tonight's City Council meeting, the Jefferson City Council passed a measure for flood prevention services presented by Parks and Rec. In early August, the arena experienced its first major flood, then 5 weeks later, a second flood hit the arena. The Parks and Rec department asked for about $320,000. The department says it hopes to do more than just sort out damage costs.
We're just seeking to be whole again, and we're close. We're about 80% back to the way we was before the first flood. It's probably a good another 3 or 4 weeks, I would say, and we should wrap everything up.
Parks and Rec also plans to keep the arena open year-long. In the past, it's closed during the summer months. We had lots of clouds in the sky today. Let's send it over to Kenton to take a look at our Election Day forecast.
All right, Brittany, thank you very much. Let's check out live Doppler First Alert radar. We do have just some very light showers here for some of us in mid-Missouri, especially over there in Pettis County right now for Sedalia. And they've been moving through just off and on throughout our day. It's going to continue overnight and even into Election Day as well. Temperatures right around 59 in Mexico, 59 in Fulton as well, 60 in Columbia, 61 in Jefferson City, Versailles. You're at 57 degrees. Winds are just from the south and from the southeast here, just about 5 miles an hour or less than that here across the area. And as we head into the rest of our evening, we're going to stay really in these middle 50s pretty much all night long. And then we're looking at, again, some more passing showers here for our night. And they are going to be off and on throughout our Election Day, especially, though, in the morning and especially to the west of Highway 63 with a lot of cloud cover as well. High temperature of 62 degrees. Calm winds, though. A lot of sunshine moves in for Wednesday. I'll track the rainfall hour by hour and take a look at our 8-day forecast right after the break.
All right, Kenton, thank you. The search continues to find the many victims of one South Carolina murderer. Coming up, where the investigation is headed next.
And 2 groups clash as the North Dakota pipeline protest continues. How police handled the opposing group.
Boone Electric members will receive a form this month to donate towards utility bill assistance programs. The 2 programs help out low-income families struggling to pay their bills. Citizens Assisting Seniors and Disabled, or CASH, specifically assists low-income elderly and disabled members who can't make their monthly payments. HELP, which stands for the Heat, Energy, and Light Program, aids low-income families with children in one-time emergency situations.
At Boone Electric Cooperative, we work very hard to make sure we have reliability and affordability. But even with us doing everything we can to keep the rates affordable, there are times that seniors will struggle and also families with children will struggle.
Members can make a one-time donation to both or either the program, or they can pledge to give donations monthly.
The fight continues to protect what some call a sacred burial ground in North Dakota.
The latest on the pipeline protests coming up next. Investigators search for more bodies in rural South Carolina. They're searching in the northwestern part of the state on the property of a man accused of kidnapping a woman and holding her in a storage container. The woman's rescue led investigators to Todd Colehep, now charged in her kidnapping and in the deaths of 4 other people murdered in 2003. Colehep is also suspected in the death of the kidnapped woman's boyfriend. Investigators say Colehep pointed them to 2 more grave sites. Human remains were found in one over the weekend.
Philadelphia's week-long transit strike ended early this morning. The Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority and union representing approximately 4,700 transit workers announced the tentative agreement before daybreak. Even though a deal was reached, riders still had to find alternate means of transportation this morning. SEPTA expects to have service fully restored tomorrow, just in time for people to head to the polls. The deal still must be ratified by union members and approved by the SEPTA board. And protesters against the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline demonstrated yesterday at a cemetery in Bismarck. When police arrived, protesters were blocking traffic. Officers closed roads for safety and kept a perimeter around the area before a group of counter-protesters arrived. They kept the 2 groups on opposite sides of the road. The State Historical Society says there are no burial grounds on the pipeline's route.
The Missouri soccer team is moving on to the NCAA tournament.
But the team they're playing might be an even bigger reason to cheer them on. Sports is next.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
Hi, everyone. Losing has become an all-too-familiar theme for the Missouri football team. The Tigers are struggling, to say the least. They have lost 5 in a row. There have been some signs of improvement on both sides of the ball, yet the team can't put it all together. Even assistance from South Carolina students that might have provided inspiration, like keeping a water bottle at the Tiger quarterback, was not enough motivation for Missouri to win. Now the Tigers' bowl chances are gone. The team still has 3 games to play. Coach Odom says, though his team has struggled, he understands there are high expectations for the program.
Anytime you've invested something that you care deeply about, you want to be successful. You want to have success. And success is measured in a lot of different ways in college sports. I'm judged on wins and losses. That's it. I understand that.
If anything, I think it drives us. We're starving. We say it every day. We're starving. We're hungry. We got to eat, and we're a bunch of dogs, and we have to eat. And it's getting to that point where the savage is going to come out of us, and we're going to have to do something about it.
Missouri's final road game will be a week from Saturday, November 19th at Tennessee. That ball game will begin at 2:30 and be televised on CBS. The Tigers are desperate for a conference win. They're 0 for the league so far, but have had success against Tennessee in recent years. Mizzou 3-1 against the Volunteers since joining the SEC. Despite losing 3 of their last 4, the Volunteers still own a record of 6-3 this year. Missouri volleyball fans have been waiting for this, asking about this. Finally, the positive answer for those fans came today. The Tigers have made the top 25. The American Volleyball Coaches Association ranks Mizzou 21st nationally. This after Mizzou knocked off number 18 Kentucky and Tennessee. The last time Mizzou made the national rankings, back on November 30th of 2015 when the Tigers were ranked 25th. Mizzou 21-4 overall this season, 12-1 in conference play with 5 matches to go. They visit South Carolina this coming Sunday. After an early exit in the SEC tournament last week, the Mizzou women's soccer team had to wait and perhaps sweat an NCAA tournament invite, but they got just that this afternoon. Their season will continue. Missouri looked on and learned it will play the Kansas Jayhawks. 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon in Lawrence. It's the second time in 3 years the teams will meet in the NCAA tournament. The Tigers beat the Jayhawks in Lawrence in the tournament 3-1 2 years ago. Tonight, the Columbia College women's soccer team in action against Missouri Baptist in the American Midwest Conference Tournament semifinals. 20th minute, Caitlin Palmer to Tiffany Weaver, who slots it home 1-0 in favor of Columbia College. Moments later, a great chance off the corner kick. Lori Frew's header, though, is stopped by a tremendous play from the defender, and then the keeper stops Katie Cook, keeping it 1-0. Missouri Baptist tried to get things going, but it was all CC. The Cougars had 27 shots, 11 on goal. Lucy Kingsley with an opportunity that does not go, and then Frew off the crossbar, but Columbia's 1 goal would stand. 1-0 Columbia wins to advance to the finals to play at Park Thursday night. Park, the only team to beat Columbia this season in conference competition. That is sports.
Here's a look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News at 10. Rules about marijuana sold in your school districts means strict sentencing options for judges, and it's disproportionately affecting one group of people.
Plus, Missouri's lost its status as a battleground state or a bellwether state. So join us to find out what that means for voters tonight at 10.
And we still have rainfall rolling in from the west that will continue overnight tonight, and we'll even see some of this rain shower activity in the morning, exiting throughout the afternoon to the south with some sunshine rolling in throughout the afternoon as well from the north. Otherwise 62 for the high temperature.
All right, Ken, thanks.
That's our time for now. Thanks for joining us.